Hello everyone. Today we are going to see about the cognitive process unit 3 memory. Before going to the topic, please see our last videos whatever I had prepared. Introduction to psychology, biological basis of behavior. Let us start our topic memory. Memory itself indicates in our mind whatever the process going on, it will be in our mind, saved in our mind. That is a memory. For example, if we observe the small video clip.
I think he's more than my friend. You're my boyfriend, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Played by Drew Barrymore. She's a young woman whose short-term memory loss keeps her thinking that it's always October 13th, 2002.
This is ridiculous. I'm not paying for this. It's October.
While Sandler's character is completely smitten and will do anything to win her over, Lucy begins each new day with a clean slate.
Morning.
Yes, in this video we can see that the memory, how does it affect our daily life, we had seen. Coming to the topic, first of all, definition. According to the Woodworth Marquis in 1948, he said that memory consists in remembering what has previously been learned. Whatever we had learned in previous time, whatever we learned, it helps us in remembering that thing. Coming to the types of memory. Types of memory is of main of two types. Sensory memory, short term memory and long term memory. Sensory memory in the sense it will be less than 1 second. And coming to the short term memory, it is a working memory. It is less than 1 minute. It holds in our brain in less than 1 minute. And coming to the long term memory, it remains for a lifetime. Then coming to long term memory, again it is of explicit memory and implicit memory. Explicit memory in the sense it is of conscious, that is declarative memory, and it consists of facts and events. And in this facts and events, it is of episodic memory and semantic memory. First of all, episodic memory, it is based on the events and experiences. Whatever we experienced in the past, it will come under the episodic memory. Coming to semantic memory, it is based on the facts and concepts. What was the fact happened in the past life, it remains for a lifetime. Then coming to implicit memory, it happens in the unconscious level. We doesn't know that it happens, but it happens in the unconscious mind. That is the implicit memory. It is the procedural memory. Whatever the skills or tasks we learned previously, for example like dancing, swimming and all, that skills whatever we learned previously, it will help us to remain for the long time. That is the long term memory. Theories of learning. There are mainly three theories: levels of processing theory, information processing theory, theory of general memory functions. Coming to theory of general memory functions, it is mainly subdivided into three subcategories: encoding, storage and retrieval. For example, if we take into consideration, if we take some keyboard, CPU and system. Here, first of all, the keyboard was there, no? It acts as a recording the information. Then that is called encoding. Coming to the storage, if we consider CPU, it helps us to save the data for the future use, to store the information for the future use. And this screen acts as a retrieval. It is the recovery for the stored information. That screen acts as a retrieval. Then coming to the information processing theory, here whatever the memory starts with the memory input from the environment. That is, for example, if the sensory memory through attention, it will be in a short term memory for 20 to 30 seconds. Then after continuous rehearsals, what happens? It comes to the long term memory. That is the information processing theory, how it processes from short term memory to long term memory, how it continues. That comes under the information processing theory. Then coming to the levels of processing theory. Here what happens? The sensory stores send the messages. The sensory stores send the messages to the short term memory. It will reveal for some seconds. After that, it processes the short term memory to the long term stores. like how the levels are going on. The long term stores, it helps us to store the information. From sensory stores, it goes to short term memory for some seconds, and it continues to long term stores. That is the levels of processing theory. Then how does the methods, what are the methods to improve the memory? There are so many methods helps us to improve our memory. Whole and part method, space and unspaced method, repetition and practice, making use of the principle of association, grouping and rhythm, recitation, utilizing as many senses as possible, pulling it all together, funnel approach, acronym, acrostic, mnemonics and the chunking. Coming to the whole and part method. In this whole and part method, if we are reading a poem again and again, it will be remained in the memory. That is the whole and part method. Then coming to space and unspaced method. Here what happens? The poem repeating for some time and afterwards rest, and again repeating some time and giving space to that thing. It will remain in the memory. Thus it helps us to improve our memory. And coming to the third one, there is a repetition and practice. If we are continuously repeating the same thing, whatever we want to learn, it will be, if we understand that matter fully, it helps us to achieve the better results. That is the repetition and practice. Then making use of the principle of association. Here, if we are using some small things to learn the things, it will be helps in the memory. For example, the caution will be used in the cancer to learn the cancer. How it helps? Cancer, the symptoms, it includes caution. Caution, changes in the bowel and bladder, unusual bleeding, thickening of the wall, like that, the nagging cough. This caution helps us to understand the cancer. That is the making use of principle of association. If we associate one thing to the other, it will helps us to understand the concept. Coming to the grouping and the rhythm. Grouping and the rhythm in the sense, if we take some number, 7, 3, 4, 2, 8, 6, 4, 8, like this, if it is a longer number, if we choose, instead of this long number, if we take into consideration some 7, 3, 4, 2, 8, 6, 4, 8, like this, if we group together two small numbers, two small numbers, we can remember easily. 7, 3, 4, 2, 8, 6, 4, 8, like that we can remember this vast number. That is the grouping and the rhythm. Coming to recitation. Recitation in the sense, if we are reading a lesson few times, the student review completely without the help of book. That is the recitation. Seventh one, utilizing as many senses as possible. For example, if we want to learn something, we can use by studying or using audiovisual material. This audiovisual aid material helps us to retain the memory longer. Next one, pulling it all together. Here, the information we need to organize and order significantly to improve the memory. Then ninth one, funnel approach. Funnel approach in the sense, we need to understand the general concept first. What does the basic demand depends on that. If we understand the general concept in detail, it makes more sense. Then acronym. Acronym, for example, in order to memorize the parts of the computer, if example keyboard, mouse, CPU, everything was there. CPU in the sense, it is the central processing unit. Instead of studying central processing unit, we can remember that as CPU. Later we can memorize that easily. Then acrostic. Acrostic in the sense, it is a clue to idea that need to be remembered. If any clue was there, we can remember easily for a longer process. Coming to the mnemonics, it is again divided into three types: mnemonic link system, memory peg system, method of loci. Coming to the mnemonic link system, we need to link one word to the other word. Mainly the keywords will be there, that we need to convert them as a story. For example, the keywords such as, for example, here we can see the keywords such as dog, shoe, bread, butter, like that. These are all the small keywords. If we want to learn the things and to keep in memory, we can narrate them as a small story. Like, for example, the dog likes the shoes and the dog only want to eat the bread and butter. In that way, we need to narrate some story. That is the mnemonic link system. Then coming to the memory peg system. Memory peg system in the sense, it here the rhyming system will be there from 1 to 10. For example, if the children wants to learn the numbers from 1 to 10, if we are going on teaching 1 2 3 like that, they will get bored. So in order to learn the things, we need to prepare them as a in a rhythmatic manner or a songs. The kids rhymes will be there, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, like rhythmatic manner we need to teach them. That is the memory peg system. Coming to the method of loci. Method of loci in the sense, it is also called as mental walk. That is the mnemonic system. Then coming to the chunking. Chunking, it mainly helps us to understand the numbers. How, in order to remember the more numbers, the chunking will be used in memory. For example, if we take into consideration some long number, 9 1 9 4 7 6 7 8 9 1 9 9 6. If the number was this much, it is difficult to remember that one. So we can differentiate this thing as a separately. Thus it is first coming to the 1947, the independent year, and the 1996. Like this, if we remember the years, and this 6 7 8 9 is in a order, so it can be remembered easily. Yes, in today's session we had done with this thing. We had seen completely regarding the theories, methods, what are the types and definition. So thank you guys for listening to the topic. Please like, share, subscribe, and thank you one and all.